What's going on, guys? Michael Nocturnal Simulations for our usual weekly group flight, which, for the first time ever, I actually don't have anybody with me. So, everybody appears to be busy tonight, but the show must go on. So, we are going to take the Vision Jet from Salt Lake City all the way over to Jackson Hole. And I've got a flight plan filed through SimBrief. Had I known ahead of time that it was going to be a solo adventure, I probably would have done it on VATSIM because it's been a little while since I've been there and done anything on VATSIM. So, future videos, definitely going to want to be checking that out. A couple channel announcements. In the very near future, I do have a big announcement to make. Can't really reveal it yet, but it will be upcoming, so stay tuned for that. And another channel announcement is that I will actually be at the Flight Sim Expo in Houston next week. I'm going to be flying out to Texas on Monday, and I'll be touring around the area. And if anybody's going to be there, let me know, and we'll be sure to meet up. Maybe have a lunch or breakfast or something while we're down there. I think it's going to be a great event. There's a whole lot of great products that are going to be and vendors that are going to be there, and I think, if I remember correctly, the Vision Jet that was used to create this Vision Jet is actually going to be there too. So that'll be pretty cool because I absolutely love this plane. Alright, so with that being said, we'll go ahead and hop back in the cockpit and get this set up. If you got any questions, comments, feel free. Just me in the chat today, it looks like. I believe Mike might be joining us in a little while, so we may detour and pick him up along the way. So go ahead and hop back in the cockpit. Okay, so I got the flight plan set up. I went ahead and set the weights and everything. Let's go ahead and shut the door back here so that we don't have to listen to the GPU. And you can see the stairs come up, the door go down. First thing we'll do is go through the checklist. So, initialization actually is what we really need to do first. Let's go to MFD, utilities, initialization, systems checks, pre-flight check.
Higher, 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 higher. Stall, stall,
Your warning, your audibles. Okay, those are good. Initial fuel. SimBrief flight plan here. It has the 5,002 pounds, so we're a little heavier, but that's okay. We got plenty of fuel for what we're going to be doing. Okay, go down to flight plan, and what we're actually going to do, since we have SimBrief integration now, is we're going to go ahead and refresh. Oh, it was already refreshing. Refresh the list. Go ahead and pull it in Salt Lake City KJAC. It'll automatically pull it in for us to see. Once we hit import. And there we go. So 34 left. And sec bubby. En route. So the procedures are not loaded in yet. So let's go to procedures, and it did load the departure in actually. Approach, we are expecting. Go ahead and pull the SimBrief profile up. Looks like we're expecting runway 19. So ILSY for 19, we'll go ahead and load that in. And we'll check it once we're at cruising altitude. 34 left on the departure. On the rugged 3 to HOLTR. So that's correct. No arrival today. I don't think KJAC has an arrival anyways, so that works out just fine. Go back. So our flight plan is good to go. So let's zoom out here and make sure it all makes sense. Looks like we've got a flight plan discontinuity there. See if we can figure that out real quick. So, okay. And here's where we'll have vectors in. We can actually change that if we want to, but we're not on VNAV, so we can pretty much do whatever we want to. We can change the procedure, and instead of a vectors transition, we might be able to, let's see what JAC looks like. Review, show the chart. So JAC will have us pretty much going straight in. That'll work just fine. Let's load that. And now we see it pulling it in there. So that took care of that problem. Hey guys, how you all doing today? And we can swivel on down here, and let's see if we can make Bubby on the procedure appear here. So you got the HOLTR, which is what our flight plan calls for. It's interesting that we have that flight plan discontinuity there, but we'll deal with that in the air. That won't be that big of a deal. Okay, so we can go back to the utilities, initialization. Flight plan is good and accept initialization. And what we'll do now is go ahead and let's use our left screen here and pull up our checklist. So before engine start, we have our pre-flight inspection done. That's correct. And anybody that's watching right now, I actually use MobiFlight to be able to check through the checklist here with just my the hat switch and a button on my yoke. So it makes it a lot easier versus trying to click on this little channel A. Good there. Strobe lights on. So let's go down and turn strobe lights. Cast messages, just parking brakes, so we're good there. Thrust lever is set to idle. Just confirm. Set to idle. Check. Brakes, hold. Engine knob to run. Let's go ahead and shut the luggage door. That should take care of all of our exterior. Let's double check everything. Gotta get the headphones on. And we're good, so we can get rid of that. Okay. Fuel pump on. Audibly can hear it. And verify engine start, battery temp, or engine volts. Cast messages not displayed. It is not. And we can go ahead and start the engine. Starts up just as easy as a modern car. So now we'll want to watch our temperatures and everything. Make sure nothing goes crazy. The only thing that's kind of weird is we're pulling 278 amps on Gen 2, or Gen 1, sorry. And for whatever reason, instead of maxing out here, it maxes out all the way up there. But on startup here, everything's into green, everything's happy. Alright, so engine instruments were good. Environmental control will enable. Engine IPS, we don't need ice protection until after takeoff, so we're going to leave that set. ECS, environment controls, we'll go ahead and leave that as it is. External GPUs disconnected. Master oxygen, let's go ahead and turn that on. Avionics initialization is complete, so what we're actually going to do now is we're departing at runway 34 left. So let's go ahead and get the heading bug. So this actually does not have the restrictions on the approach. So this actually does not have the correct cruising altitude. And interestingly enough, we're calling out 290, so helps to swap over to the correct bug. And let's go ahead and get our altitude to 290, L290. Takes a second with honeycomb. Not sure if holding shift actually does anything. No, it didn't seem to affect anything when I'm using the honeycomb knob to get there, but we'll get there eventually. There we go. Alright. So we are actually going to do heading and flight level change because we don't have any restrictions getting out of here. except at rugged. We do have rugged at 12. So let's turn on VNAV. Interesting. I thought when you had VNAV in, it didn't change, or you couldn't have both. We'll see what that does. Cap spin's good. Passengers all briefed. We got one guy. He is the owner of the airplane with us today, and he's got a meeting Monday morning up in KJAC. So seatbelt secured, bleed air switch on, and before taxi comm nav set. Transponder is an auto. We're squawking. We'll do some random number here just to pretend we're actually squawking something correctly. And good there. It is clearance. Not on VATSIM. No need to worry about that altimeter. We do need to double check. So let's go to departure. Flight plan. Trying to find other ways to get to the weather information. We want the map on there. Let's go to waypoint info, airport, KJAC, weather. Altimeter is 3002. Adjust that here. Oh, we're in hectopascals. We need to adjust that. Aircraft systems or options. Utilities. Setup. Avionics setup. Units. What about system? Thought it was in here. You'd think it'd be in units. What about the PFD settings maybe? There it is. Change it to inches. And now we should be good to go. And what did I say? It was 3002. Currently at 29908. 3002. Okay. Tuner is good. Transponder set. Heading initial altitude is set. Flight controls free or include correct. They are indeed correct. Trim 6 degrees. I actually like to go to when it changes to 6 degrees. So you go 5 and then trim up one time 6 degrees. Flat's 50%. Drop it down to 50%. Electronic roll trim is good. Togo button press and cast messages. Check pro P park brake. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the track IR set. Reset the view here in the cockpit. Center track IR. I need to make it a one hotkey button thing there in the future. Okay, so MFD. Going to zoom in. Our departure here, we are on 34 left, which is over here, so we need to taxi out around and head down this direction. So, with that being said, parking brake off. We're going to be rolling here, so we're going to get the probe heat on. Probe heat on. Fix work. We're going to pretend our buddy here is not actually there because these guys never get out of the way. Always ring them over. I actually have not seen the trailer yet. I saw it was announced earlier, but I've been busy and I just got home a little while ago. So my thoughts right now is it's a little surprising that they're going to try to announce a new simulator when this one's not even really finished yet. They have a massive roadmap and millions of things to add to this one alone, so why are we trying to move on to the next one? Now, I would say that if it's going to be a DLC, that would be a perfect integration to this world. Although I did hear some people talking about having a potential new engine involved with the whole thing, so I know that a lot of people are going to be upset about the amount of money and time that they've invested into the simulator for it to potentially be put down the drain, because the simulator is really not that old and you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars of developers and their time and money involved into this current simulator. So it'll be interesting to see how people think, or people react to what their actual announcement is. And some are essentially saying it's a DLC. Well, now DLC I'd be perfectly okay with. I'm not opposed to them adding a ton of functionality, and that was never promised to us originally. Where it may have been, maybe not, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't follow super close to what they were going to offer throughout the life of the sim, but either way, it's a ton of work to add what, at a glance that I've seen, what they're going to add. So if it's a DLC, I agree with it. If it's a whole new simulator, a whole new engine, I think there's going to be a lot of very unhappy people and companies that have invested a lot of time, money, R&D, research, and development into the 2020 version to get us a little bit of a slap in the face with this latest and greatest quote-unquote version. Quite a crosswind here. We're actually going to cross the back side of the runway here. Clear left and clear right. No, I'm not complaining about getting new sim content or any of that. Don't take that the wrong way. What I am complaining about is they have an incomplete simulator here, and then they're trying to invest their time and efforts into a whole new one. So this one is already amazing in what it can do. Why don't we improve on what we already have and offer DLC content for the people who really want it, and continually improve this virtual world that we have now? Because there's you could integrate so many different things into this simulator world that we don't have yet. Like a really good third-person option would be great. And oh man, we got to go to the other side of the airport. I didn't realize that. So we got a nice little taxi here to talk. So, lost my train of thought. Oh, there's a big bump. But yeah, so why don't we finish and add good content to this simulator versus having a whole new engine? Or is it such a drastic difference? I mean, if they could take what we have now and do a direct port over without me having to buy another A320 or another 737, which I've already bought many of, that would be fine with me. I don't mind spending the money on a new sim. But I think you got a lot of people who have spent hundreds, even thousands of dollars on airplanes and sim gear. Clear left, clear right, that are going to be upset about having to buy the same thing over again to be on the latest and greatest version of the simulator. Now, that's a first world problem, of course. You know, we don't have to get the latest and greatest as long as they continue supporting this one. And there's obviously other options. You got P3D and X-Plane as an example, which the reason I particularly picked this version is because this simulator is because the visuals. Flight model to me is good enough, but the visuals are unmatched compared to any other sim. But no, I think having constant innovation in the sim world is always good, and I will never fault anybody for wanting to improve on what we have. Because I mean, even if you just look at the last 20 years, It's pretty impressive how far we've come. Because, you know, I've got airplanes that cost more than Sim cost as a whole. So having to essentially buy multiple games in essence to get the same experience of what I already have, it's a bit disappointing if it ends up being that way. I just gotta figure out how to get over there. I'm not too familiar with KSLC, but I think if we go to a little farther to the west here, there's some curvy taxiways over there if I remember correctly. Should have spawned somewhere else after looking at my flight plan versus spawning somewhere then making the flight plan. Here we go. This thing's a little squirrely. Having flashbacks to Cord taxis, progressive taxis that take 45 minutes. One thing that they need to slow down a little bit on this airplane, they need to add some sort of like a slight travel delay on the nose wheel of this thing. It's got a bit too much of this going on where it'll really aggressively turn on you if you're not paying attention. So what do you think, Dwayne? Could have gone left there, but oh well. These things just too twitchy. That's even with my rudder pedals adjusted. Alright, now we're making progress. Okay, landing lights. Turn those on. Make sure we don't run off to the grass. That would be upsetting. Dwayne, do you happen to be going to the Flight Sim Expo in Houston next week? quite the crosswind here, so this could get really interesting real quick. Go ahead and pull the flight plan up so that we'll be ready to do a direct to mansec if it doesn't automatically pull that through right there. I'm not sure what's going to happen because there's not really a way to clear out the discontinuity here. So let's see what happens. Alright, brakes, thrust lever. Okay, here we go. Rod aileron just to counteract this left rudder. This crosswind is pretty crazy. Forgot to put my V-speeds on, but we're at 90 knots. Let's get out airborne so we don't get blown around too much longer. Positive rate, gear up. Rudder's back to neutral. Yeah, we're just tracking straight down the runway. 20 degrees to the right. Level off a little bit here. Get these flaps up at 115. And flaps up. Okay, so it did not automatically take us to the next waypoint, so do a direct to activate. At least it smoothed that once we got in the air. Let's go hand flying right now. Let's go ahead and pull our thrust levers back. Max continuous thrust. I'm going to fly this whole flight with manual throttle control. Engine parameters are good. The cabin pressure is climbing. Ice protection still not needed. And transition altitude at 18,000 feet will be our next major item. Is at Bubby, and then Rugged will be at 12, and then we'll climb out at Cloud. Got VNav enabled, so let's see how it handles this, because last time it ignored this altitude restriction. And it seems to be doing the same thing to me today, so let's go ahead and bring that altitude back down to 11,000 feet. 11, so let's manually fly here, keep it at 11,000 feet. Just go climbing. to enable VNav, or autopilot. Let take over here to define control. And we can turn our landing lights off. Taxi. Puppy up to 12. So we actually have the throttle in MCT right now, so that it's going to continuously keep us at the maximum max continuous thrust. Once we get the cloud here in a moment, we'll be, or rugged, will be recline. It's always cool going over these mountains. A little bit of speed now. Smidge early, but that's okay. Okay, we're heading into some icing here, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the engine heat. Lose a little bit of performance, but at least it'll keep us flying. So we can go ahead. We don't have an arrival, but we do have the approach for 1/6 left. The chart for that we can look at. So we should have these VNav altitudes in our flight plan. Oh, I'm sorry, we're doing 19. And I'm at the wrong airport. KJAC approach. There we go. That's what we want. So at Quart, 11,000 trips, 10,200. The altitudes here are interesting because they're not your usual even or odd numbers. They're your 10,000s, 9,000. got 10,200, 15,100 going into there. So we should see all that on our VNav page. And we do. Perfect. So let's go ahead and make sure our VNav is enabled. It is. And double check our descent profile. 250. That all looks good. Do we have any speed restrictions? Do not see any. So what we'll do is just go ahead and make sure this looks correct on the map. Go to the left screen. Zoom out some. Oh, this has got something goofy going on. Look at that. So we're going to have to follow this approach in, backtrack up, and then do this teardrop back down to the approach. This is going to be interesting. So we want to do all of this, I guess, at 14,100 feet. So let's get PFD flight plan. This actually hasn't, that shows us at court at 15,200. Higher is always better. Never heard a complaint about that. Oh, 10 nautical miles from court, 13,100 is the recommended for that. This is going to be a fun arrival, or approach. I'll be curious to see how well the Garmin 3000 flies this for us, because that could be really, really interesting. And I'll have to make it a point to fly here more often. Again, this Jackson Hole is the airport we're flying to. But it looks good. Looks looking at the flight plan in here, it looks correct from what I can tell so far. So we'll go from DNW. This little trackpad takes a little getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. DNW, top of descent, Fatmo, trips, court, turn. What's up, Tommy? How's it going? Tommy, have you flown this crazy approach into Jackson Hole before? Alright, well, we can turn off our engine de-ice. I find it interesting that we're going 29,000 feet and this thing on top of descent is this late in the game, but that's probably, we'll see how we feel when we get a little closer, how accurate that is. We're going to go to standard. Not a huge deal since we're still flying. Oh, okay. Oh, are you asking about the HDMI splitter? You should be able to use the HDMI splitter. The only thing you might want to research, and I can look after the stream, is if one splitter will display two different screens from within Windows, if that makes sense. So, like, you don't have the splitter sending the exact same signal just to two different monitors. That's the thing we'll want to double check. Because obviously you're going to want to use two different screens for two different things in this instance. Was that the fly-by-wire you flew it in? Did it handle it pretty well? This is my first time flying it in the Garmin 3000 anything. Okay, cool. Need to go back and watch your last stream. The puppy makes things a little busy these days. It's kind of funny though that I've lived where I live now in this apartment for over a year now, and I've talked to more people in the past week since I got the puppy, First Officer Bodie, than I have in the entire year I've lived here. People are obsessed with him. It's amazing. Oh, they did. Oh, are you guys doing the shared cockpit? Are you flying the PMDG in the shared cockpit? Yeah, the puppy definitely keeps me on my toes, that's for sure. Oh, cool. Did it get rough because the shared cockpit was glitchy, or just struggling to have a fluid operation in a shared cockpit environment? Okay, we're coming up on flight level 290. Still not convinced about this top of descent. It says we got 192 miles, so yes, yeah. I knew I wasn't going to get any videos out this past week, just trying to get the puppy comfortable here, and so I'm going to try to get one or two out this week, and then of course the following week I'm going to be up in or down in Houston for the Flight Sim Expo, and I'm really excited about that. I'm going to try to take some film gear and try to do some quick little videos maybe while I'm on the road. I think that'd be pretty cool. Don't know how fast my laptop will be able to process DaVinci videos, but we'll see. Yeah, he would be the right guy to teach you that. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how the PMDG handles the shared cockpit. I know it's pretty glitchy even in the fly-by-wire. Does this audio sound okay? I feel like it keeps popping up in the red over here, and I just turn it down some. No, what's up, Mike? Hey, Raj, you're in here. Where you at?
Now it's Greenland. I picked an airport north of Salt Lake to try and catch up to you guys if I can. We'll see.
Okay. It's just me and you now. So, everybody seemed to be busy tonight.
You're doing ILS 17. I thought I heard you talking to Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's in the chat talking to me right now. He's at work. I mean, he's working, not talking to me. You guys never heard that. Good time to fly. Let me turn the up song. On my end. I think I turned it around. Say something again, Mike.
Sorry, what's that?
There you go. Okay. I had to turn the up song. I had you turned down the other day for some reason. Okay, Tommy. I just wanted to make sure that it was loud enough because OBS showed me that it was blowing out the microphone constantly, so I turned down the air on the actual microphone and stuff. Yeah, I've seen your all's Discord changing quite a bit here in the last couple weeks. Where'd you say you were at, Mike?
Airport's called KLGU.
Yep, I just passed that a second ago. You won't be too far behind.
And I'm taking the longitude to try and give me a speed advantage.
Well, I don't know if you were watching me review the chart, but this is a very interesting approach.
I was watching while I was driving on my phone while I was driving. That's what I do on Sunday nights on my way home. I try to figure out where all you guys are. So when I jump in the house, I know where to go. But I wasn't watching YouTube on my phone while I was driving. I didn't say that.
No, never. You're just listening. I give good enough instructions while I'm flying that you can just follow along and mentally prepare yourself for when you get in the house. That sounds good, Tommy. You can also give me a call tomorrow. I've got some training until 5, but after 5 I'll be free for a little bit. Because I've got mine set up pretty well, but there's definitely room for improvement. You know me, I can't not try to tinker and improve things. And it's a one-man show over here. So this thing is creeping up on the barber pole. I was trying to fly this whole thing without auto thrust. Pull the throttle back just a hair. Yep, 6 should be okay. You're definitely going to have a speed advantage in that longitude, though. Yeah, I haven't watched too many tutorials, honestly. I've just been kind of finagling my way through it as I go. I need to watch tutorials on permissions because I always struggle with those for some reason. Mike, do you want to be in my Discord admin?
Record what?
Admin.
No.
No.
I don't know. Think about it.
Okay.
Actually, I said no. I said no so fast. I was like, no, I got enough. Things going on.
Yeah, I understand. I wore first officer Bodie out pretty good this weekend. Got him swimming for the first time. That was fun.
Oh, that's cool.
He was not a huge fan of it, so it didn't last long. But he did get wet. Oh, now we're going way too slow. Let's back up to MCT. Hey, at least you're willing to learn. Oh, Tommy just called you out, Mike.
What did he say?
He said, come on, Mike, step up and do the admin thing.
I haven't even let a group flight yet. I stepped up to anything.
Well, heck, let me know when you want to lead one. It's not like it's difficult. If we screw up, we screw up. I screw up all the time. You know, with my enormous amount of real world experience.
What else do you get?
290. 60 miles from EBACA? Echo Bravo Alpha Charlie Alpha.
I don't know if I picked the same approach you did or not. I picked fast and went.
You can change it mid-flight. I just got the ILS Yankee 19. Yeah. My job keeps me learning all the time, so I never feel like I know anything half the time.
You remember what transition you picked?
Jack.
All right, that's the procedure.
Feels nice flying one of these IFR flights after having not done too many of them lately. It's just a different challenge, you know?
Yeah.
You've got a whole new bird to learn, so that's makes it even more interesting.
This one's not so hard.
No,
Hand flying's a little bit tough, or not tough. That's a learning. You know, it flies.
yeah, the hand flying is difficult because that thing can climb at 7,000 feet a minute.
And it does. When you, like, you know, say takeoff, program in, like, you know, maybe 8,000 feet initially, hit flight level change, and it's just vertical. 6,000 feet a minute, it just goes.
Yeah, it's crazy what that thing can do. Versus formats. they have climb profiles built into them, so it's not super fast, but I mean, you can shoot up there pretty quick with a lightly loaded 737 and raising 20. He's flying the longitude, Tommy. We did a flight the other night with that, and I think that's the only thing he's flown since.
No, I've been bouncing around. I went back to the Baron for a little bit this weekend.
Oh, okay.
And the 152 just to do some, to practice flying.
Yeah.
Not, like as opposed to programming.
Yeah. Yeah, you just become a professional button pusher. You're flying this time.
So this, I can go out at FMS on my autocross, but it's been holding me at 200 knots all the way up to 29,000 feet.
Probably about right for your climb profile. If you go to your VNAV page, it'll show you your climb profile. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with sticking rudder on. It's my favorite kind of flying.
Yeah, see, climb rate was supposed to be 270. That I didn't put it in VNAV, that's why.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, let's go ahead and get the weather from our destination. Tell me there's 3002, same thing as what we left with, so that's good. Winds 209 at 5 knots, landing on runway 19, so that makes sense. Clouds 8,500 feet, broken 10,000 feet, overcast, so we're going to have a little bit of cloud cover going in. Temperature's 14 degrees Celsius, not too crazy.
Yeah, this is the first I've seen it do this to me where that VNAV profile is, the speeds are much higher than what the FMS
Well,
is indicating on.
since you blew past the VNAV path, it's probably not going to go back to VNAV until your descent.
Well, I got 15 minutes to top of descent. I can just manually speed up.
Yep. Okay, Tommy. Yeah, I'll look at it and let you know. Alright, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick before we do this insane approach. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Tommy. I played it back on. I played it back on my TV, which is 4K, and it looks pretty good. You can tell it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close. And the colors I struggle with just because I'm playing in HDR and streaming in SDR. And to have the ability to stream in HDR, I need to have a capture card, a separate computer, which I have, but I just haven't gone down that route yet. My old computer would be a perfect machine for a streaming computer. Some of this weather here. Okay, this topic descent is making more sense now. That was really.
I'm 10 minutes out to top of the set. How far are you?
Probably about the same.
Maybe I'm catching up to you. I see your tag. I don't see your plane. I do also see why I can go back into FMS mode on the autothrottle.
Oh, okay.
Well, the plane will limit you to 200 knots if you still have your flaps up. I took off with no procedures. I just fast as I could, got off the ground.
We'll figure it out in the air, guys.
This thing currently has a ground speed of 491 knots.
Yeah, I'm 7 minutes from top of the sun. Say 400 and what? 79?
491 knots ground speed.
Jeez. Yeah, Tommy. There you go. Pretty cool little, I wouldn't even call it a private jet, it's more of a personal jet.
Have you ever been here in real life?
No, I have not.
I've been here twice. And I think I know why it has this crazy approach. If I can remember being there, this is nestled in
A big valley.
big valley between peaks. Yeah.
I've flown here for the Virgin Airline once before, but pretty sure that day I did more of a straight in approach. This is the first time I've flown this crazy approach. You want to see anything else, Tom? You can actually, oh here, I'll show you something cool. Good. Oh, that's good. We can go through it. Backwards, not forward. Ask him if he likes some in-flight entertainment. I just need to figure out a way to get Netflix on there. Oh, I could probably replace the graphic with my channel logo. That'd be kind of fun. Alright, 4 minutes stops. That's just a few miles past Moss. The pressure will be on to see if this Garmin flies this perfectly.
Yeah, that's been a trick in this longitude. You've got to be super on the ball. It struggles. And I was reading today, a lot of people have struggles with it capturing glide slopes.
Yeah, it seems like you got to be really on it. Yeah, Tommy. If I wanted to, I could fly this thing from all the way in the back. Well, I've got the executive layout right now. The family layout has a row of seats where these latches are here, along with center aisle being open. Okay, so we can go ahead and start this. Turn VNAV mode. It's on. Altitude. We're going down to 9,600. Put 7,500 in there just to be sure. Shift. It's about the same. Alright, 136 on top of the sun. Tommy, the thing I love the most about this airplane is how big the front window is. You can see so much out of it. Compared, especially to other private jets, and definitely airliners. Alright, I'm actually going to put this thing into auto throttle because of how complicated this arrival is. Or approach, I should say. Imagine it's going to get a little overloaded here shortly. Alright, top of the sun's coming up.
I don't see any holds in the... Yeah, there's no hold.
I didn't see any before, so I didn't have to clear any of that out. There is the missed approach hold, which is programmed in already. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that I can look to the left, and the window's so big that I can actually find space that you don't see any of the cockpit. I'm going to go ahead and turn on engine de-ice. Probably going to warm up a little bit. Negative 43 as we get through these clouds. is right in front of me somewhere. Just can't see those flags. Somebody on TCAS departing. Just probably above there somewhere. This would be really interesting at night, Mike.
Yeah. They're so good. What a sight of you.
I'm doing my turn to check.
Oh. You are behind me now. I think because of the I think I passed you.
Oh, maybe that's USC on TCAS then.
Yep, I'm descending now. This thing is this plane is so cool.
Say it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that procedure turn now.
The teardrop.
Yep.
Yeah, that was you then. So you'll be passing directly underneath me here soon then.
It's taking this turn at 320 knots airspeed.
Yeah, just a 50-mile wide turn. No big deal.
It's gonna be much bigger than I think I found. It swings way out from.
Yeah, this overshot the flight path a bit. I'm only going 211 knots. Well, airspeed, ground speed 308.
Topped out at about 495.
Jeez.
I'm still at 480.
You're almost doubling me.
Well, I do have double the engine.
True.
I believe this plane does. Yeah, all the ice protection is. Oh.
Is it automatic or do you have to manually do it?
Some of it's automatic.
See the ice on the wings, so that's good. Alright, I'm bringing the teardrop. Not following the VNAV profile very well.
Oh, Me either.
I'm gonna go to manual speed and slow it down.
Damn, here. I'm still at 23,000 feet and halfway through this turn.
Okay, I'm starting to catch back up to it now.
What's your altitude at now?
19.8. Saying I should be above 1310. So I guess it's really not too far off if I look down through the rest of it. I feel like it's going to be high. I may have to manually intervene. If I'm closing in on port too much higher than 11,000 feet, then I'm going to have to manually intervene.
Yeah, I'm 7 miles from port, and I just crossed under 20,000 feet, like 19.5. Slowing this thing down. But my rate of descent is right in line with its target.
I'm actually going to take that VNAV here and do a vertical speed. $2,000 minute, that should help.
Mine captured now.
Did it reset after the next waypoint? Might be all it is, but I'd rather be ahead of it a little bit than behind it. I got a little window icing, so let's go ahead and get everything turned on. Wings look okay, but I'll go ahead and turn that on just in case. Because this isn't like a heated anti-ice, it's a de-ice boot, so it's a little different. Alright, let's go ahead and get the approach mode armed. That should work. I'm not sure if it is though. Excuse me.
It's playing finicky. It won't let you arm the approach mode.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me either. We got pretty much the same suite of electronics though, so it's same problems.
Yeah. Pass by me?
Should have. I'm 4.5 miles from the port.
I'm 11 miles from it now.
Oh, you must have taken such a wide turn. I cut the corner on you.
I guess so, and I dropped my speed down to 200.
I'm at 190 right now, so I'll bump it up to 200.
Huh.
That way we don't run into each other.
You see Grand Teton off to your right?
Is that the mountain?
It's the tallest peak there.
Yes, I do.
Poking up.
This is
Yeah, that's
actually a
it.
very pretty approach here. I'm going to see if I can snag a picture. I'm not sure if mine... There it goes. It's not flashing like it normally does. Okay, going up on trips, which is 10,200 feet. Alright, buddy. Thanks for joining, Tommy. Alright, I got the runway in sight. Okay, so I should be able to go back into just VNAV. I've recaptured the wide slip. And see if it'll do the approach. Approach mode, arm, beautiful. Alright, I'm on the glide slip, so let's go ahead and slow her down. 1, I think it's 140 for flaps, 2, 150. Go ahead and put down 1 degree of flaps, or flaps 50, I should say. Slowing to 150. Let's go ahead and get the track IR enabled because it's going to free me up a little bit. Landing gear down. Turn off the anti-ice, no need for that. Okay, I'm gonna hand fly the rest of this. Start slowing for the approach. Three green landing gear. Flaps ice, that's okay. Slowed up to 100 knots, 105 for approach. Let's check. Gear down, 3 green. 100% flaps. First speed 100. Go around as straight out, climb to 14,000 feet, and join hello.
This is beautiful. It'll be very cool in the winter.
Yes. The one time I did fly here before, it was in the winter.
2 times I went out there. It wasn't to ski. It was just we were touring the country. It was once was February and once was like April. And there's lots of snow up in the mountains. It was cool.
Oh yeah. It's a little bumpy once you get close to the threshold. Crosswind feels a bit more than a few knots, I can tell you that.
Alright.
Yeah, that windsock is straight across. Skiing, you're doing quite the slalom here.
My gosh. Oh, I got a runway incursion here.
Oh,
I can't. Oh,
oh, he's sliding out.
I'm drifting to a stop.
Oh no!
Damn. I know what I did wrong.
That was great. Oh, that was great. I can't believe it crashed your plane for tipping it over, though.
I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to curse myself, but I recorded my landing on that one. I was like, I'm going to get this one.
That's great. Flaps up. Landing lights off.
Well, you've got it on video, so.
Yeah. That one's being immortalized.
I'll explain what went wrong once you end the stream.
Okay.
Completely operator error there.
There's some goofy looking lines on here. I don't feel like these are right. It's amazing how that plane will literally drift on the ground like that. I was gonna pull over with you in the grass and we'll take our photo there, but as soon as you tipped over, like, dang it.
I was spawning back in right where you're rolling, right?
Okay, come on over. We'll take the screenshot.
Oh man, that was up to that point. There was one stupid mistake that would have been pretty flawless. GPS worked, all the electronics worked. Capturing lights up, everything just worked.
Worked until it didn't, right? Okay, park and brake. The landing flaps are up. Wing ice protection system is off. Go back to 0 degrees. Or no, 0 degrees trim, another way. Propede is off. External lights are not required. Brakes. Good. Thrust levers idle. Bleeds off. Oxygen's off. Lights are off. And engine knob to off. And engine stop. into below 24%. And we'll go ahead and turn our strobe light off. Cap span, can't do anything with that. Gen 1, 2. Off. Parking brake set. And turn the electronics off. Alright. Open up the door. Headphones in the dash. Get the covers, protectors on, luggage door, and we are good to go. I bet this would be a cool picture with the mountains in the background.
You're facing the mountains, aren't you, in your plane?
Yes, I am.
I'm just scooching up here on your left hand side.
Yeah, I hear you. A little crooked, but yeah, if you come in crooked like that too, it'll be turn left just a hair. There you go. That'll look good. Keep
Right
going
there.
forward a little
Hold
more.
there.
A little more. Forward.
Say what?
Forward. Otherwise you're going to be riding on my wing.
Oh, I thought you said more.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I will disappear for 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm
no
just-
problem. You're all from my traffic cone business. That's a good screenshot.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Does that thing have reversers?
I have heard
It does.
I
It does. Might try putting your
see
reversers
if I
on.
can get it.
Let's get
I want to
back
try it.
Should back you up just fine. That's crazy. Like, you don't have an interior at all in that airplane. So strange.
Why? I don't know what happened here too. I lost all my interior electronics because I did it super rapid.
Yeah.
I didn't control it. No. I don't know if I got no instruments now, so I'm not even sure my engines are running.
I hear them. And I can actually see them running, of all things.
There's full reverse.
Ah, that's alright. I got some pictures for us.
Oh.
Okay, let me end the stream and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, thanks for joining again. Not quite as many people as we're used to having, but it was still fun. Especially with Mike joining at the end there and giving us some in-flight entertainment. So, that being said, I'll catch you guys next Thursday. That'll be the last stream for the week. Actually, yes, because Sunday night I will be getting ready for my trip to Texas. So, that being said, guys, appreciate you all joining, and I hope you enjoyed that flight, maybe learned a thing or two, and with that, happy flying.